So, I've been wanting to work on this video forever, and I kept putting it off, and it's finally happening. So a lot of this footage is going to be from last year's Horror Nights, and yeah, I'm actually going to do another video too pretty soon, covering this year's Horror Nights and how I handled it this year, because every year is different because of the mazes, especially first day because I don't know what to expect. But once I get used to things, you know, I have my routines and it's easier. And so people always ask me, you're autistic, how do you handle going to something like Horror Nights so frequently, or even, you know, going to Disneyland on the regular? Truth be told, I handle Horror Nights better than Disneyland, which is funny. Like, at some point, if you go to Disneyland with me, you'll see that I start to get really cranky and just overwhelmed, and that can happen at Horror Nights. But the thing about Horror Nights is it's only a certain amount of time a year. I have essentially 2 months and only really the weekends and Thursdays to go and attend Horror Nights. And so I have this limited time to do something that's really special and means a lot to me. And Horror Nights to me is a place where I overcome a lot. Not even in a quest to be normal, because fuck that, I'm not even about trying to be like everyone else or trying to be normal now. It just makes me feel like I can handle a lot of my fears, even the irrational ones, maybe, because I'm still afraid of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and nothing has fixed that. Yeah, so in this video here, I will be explaining different things that I've realized with myself being autistic and going to Horror Nights. Also dealing with the fact that I'm agoraphobic and have anxiety, because there are times where we're at Horror Nights and I just freak out because I just don't feel safe, or I feel overwhelmed just because of the sheer size of it and the amount of people. So yeah, here we go. So one major thing as to why I frequent Horror Nights so much and why I like it is fixation. It is one of my biggest fixations because it's horror movies, and horror movies, as you should know, is probably my biggest fixation, if not Star Wars. I love horror movies. I love Jason Voorhees. I love Michael Myers. I love Leatherface. I love Dario Argento. I love Tobe Hooper. I love everyone. Like, I will watch any horror movie at least once, no matter how terrible it is. And so Horror Nights is a way for me to be a part of that. It's a way for me to be in it. It's a way for me to feel like I'm inside of something that means so much to me. Like with last year, there was The Exorcist. Now, The Exorcist is possibly my favorite movie of all time. It switches. I change my mind a lot. And so I just really love The Exorcist for multiple reasons. Not for the fear factors, but like, there's underlying stuff about psychology. There's stuff about personal demons, about loss and just moving on. And there's so much to it, and it means a lot to me. It's a movie, if you know me well enough, know that I like watch it when I'm going on a plane. To calm myself. I'm so weird, but yeah. And so getting to be a part of The Exorcist, you know, 3.5 decades later, was something really big, and it was really special to me. And, you know, now they're doing the American Horror Story mazes. Last year they did 3 different seasons in one. Now they're just doing it down to 1, and they're doing Roanoke. So last year was Freak Show, Murder House, and Hotel. So Murder House is my favorite season of American Horror Story. Hotel is probably my third, next to Coven. And so I was really excited. And like Freak Show, I have my moments with it. Like, I have a Freak Show tattoo because I really love Maggie Esmeralda. And there's parts of it that I love. There's parts of it that are also equally frustrating. Like, I think it gets a lot of more shit than it should. But I get what they were trying to do, but sometimes I feel like things could have been executed better. Different story. But the maze was a way for me to be in American Horror Story, and it was absolutely amazing.
ride was only the first.
Here, piggy, piggy, piggy! So that kind of vaguely explains that, like, when I really love something, I can push past anything because I'm just so into that thing that's all I want. That's all I can focus on. That's all I can think about. And so in that moment, being in there, I am content. And there's nothing else can bother me. I went to Target and I got a cheeseburger. Not from Target, but yeah, so hi, back. And so we talked about fixation, and when I'm fixated, I will push past just about anything for that fixation. A lot of times people ask, that's like, you know, how I met celebrities that I love. I'm so fixated on that celebrity that I'm like, I'm gonna deal with this. Now, I haven't overcome things like over in the line waiting for concerts or being in the front row for concerts like I used to. I could handle it much better in the past, and now it's just difficult for me to be that close to that many people. It just doesn't work out for me. But like with the mazes and stuff and that kind of overstimulation, it's an overstimulation that I enjoy. With the mazes, you go in small groups at a time. So though it does get a little backed up at times, it's never that you're completely crowded all the way around you. You have escapes if you need to escape. There's places you can leave. And the overstimulation is like, I like being scared, and it's hard to scare me because I see things so nonsensically, and I do get scared admittedly at movies and things at times, but with Horror Nights it makes me feel things. And usually, like, sometimes I feel so empty, or like I'm not really here and I'm not really feeling things. So with Horror Nights, it's like I'm excited and I'm happy and I'm having fun and I'm scared in a fun way, and it's all stuff that I enjoy and I have a good time. And I'm surrounded by people who understand that this means something to me generally. I mean, last year I had a cave troll with me, but that's a whole other story. But going with people I love who understand this means something to me, they know that, okay, well, she's getting a little worked up or a little anxious right now. Why don't we go sit off, maybe get something to eat? Or we can ride a ride, where during Horror Nights the ride lines aren't that crazy, and there's not a lot of people riding the rides because they more so want the maze experiences, because they only come for, 2 months out of the year on certain nights. And that's the same thing for me. I push past a lot of this because I can't experience this every year, or well, not even every year, because the mazes differ. Every year you're getting something new, and every year it's for such a short period of time. It's not like going to Disneyland where I can go all the time and I pretty much know what I'm going to get. With Horror Nights, it's a new experience, and I want to be able to have a good time with that. And I remind myself of that. You're not going to get this all the time. This isn't something that you can do every single year, because again, the mazes are going to be different. The idea is kind of the same. Sorry, barking dogs. Anyway, the idea is the same, that you're going to go get scared and go in mazes, but it's not, because you have different experiences. And so for me, it's getting to, again, experience things that I love in such an intense and, like, inclusive experience. I get to be inside of these movies and shows that mean so much to me. One big thing is pain, pushing past the pain, because, I do have an injured back, I have a bad foot, I have nerve damage and other things. And so it's hard sometimes to push past that pain, and I do struggle, and I'm paying for it during the week. And it's like I save all my spoons to go to Horror Nights. All my 10 or however spoons, I got 3 spoons maybe for the day, I save it all for Horror Nights because it means so much to me. And there are times that I do have meltdowns or have bad times or get moody or just kind of shut down, you can't predict what other people's behaviors are going to be. You can't predict that you're going to have nice people or even understanding employees. Fortunately, at Universal Studios and even at Disneyland, they have guest assistance sort passes, which are to help people with disabilities, people with, spectrum disorders, and, physical disorders, or anything that, being in a long line might make you panic or make you sick or you're in pain. They have a system where they give you a time and you return back. And for me, that's just so convenient because, say I really want to go, this year, Titans of Terror, and see Jason, long line, I can go ride the bummy, or go just sit down. I have all these little areas that I know of in Universal, and I know of at Horror Nights are just quiet areas, especially around The Simpsons and stuff like that. You can find an area to chill, and I just get my quiet and I relax for a moment. Go to a smoking area, have a vape, have a sesh, um, a puff of my herbs, and calm the hell down. I have my methods to help myself relax, and my friends know, ways to help me calm down as well. So a lot of it is just knowing what I can handle, and how long I can handle it for, and having people who understand me. I don't take Ober into Horror Nights because it would be a really confusing experience for him. So that's one thing. If I had him, that would help a lot. But I can't take him because people are incredibly disrespectful, and it's dark and you're in an amusement park, and step on him, try to touch him. Not only that, in the mazes he would be confused because it's a kind of fear in which I want to be in, whereas he would be confused and might think that I'm in trouble, or he needs to pull me aside or do a technique. So it's hard to know this is pretend because he doesn't understand that, and I don't want to confuse him. So I have to go without him to Horror Nights. So that's one big step too, is I'm without a big crutch for me, something that helps me. And so it's overcoming that, missing that one thing that helps calm me down, and filling that with other things that can help, videos of favorite actors or things like that, music. I have stim toys I take with me, things I can chew on, and all sorts of things. So it's making sure that I have items that are going to help, and that I have the people there that are going to help and understand what exactly I need. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I hope I answered your questions for the most part, and now you guys understand, my whole thing with Horror Nights, why it means a lot to me, and how I can handle that being an autistic person. Sometimes you push past a lot when you really love things, and that's what I do for Horror Nights. And, it's not always a good night with no meltdowns. Sometimes I have a great night, sometimes I don't, but I love it, and I'm gonna keep going until I'm at the point where I want to pull my hair out and I'm like, I'm done with Horror Nights.